Carpal tunnel syndrome, unfortunately, is very common, especially if we do a lot of extension and keyboarding through the wrist, puts a little tension through that median nerves, can give us all sorts of pain, especially at night, numbness, especially in our first three fingers. If this sounds like you, stay tuned. We're going to talk about 3 things that might help your carpal tunnel. If this is your first video, welcome. Make sure you check out the other videos on our channel. I've got you covered from head to toe, everything from headaches all the way down to foot pain. Just go to the search bar, type in what you're looking for. If you don't find it, let me know, and maybe I'll make a video for it. In this video, I'm going to talk about carpal tunnel. And when my patients first come in, everyone's heard of carpal tunnel, but we're not exactly sure what it is. And I'm big into education because I feel like the more we know, the more we understand as to, oh, maybe that's why when I bring my wrist up 100 times a day, that's causing a little bit of traction and pain in my hand. So let's do a little anatomy review. So first, orientation. This is the left hand, that's palms down, and this is palms up. And you can look right here and you can see this little U-shaped, or it looks like an inverted tunnel. And that's what we call the carpal tunnel. It's called the carpal tunnel because the bones here are called the carpals. So it makes sense. Then we have a big thick piece of connective tissue over the top, the transverse carpal ligament, which is basically makes the top of this where my pen is. And then within that hole here, we have 10 different structures. 9 flexor tendons that are responsible for flexing the wrist, and then 1 median nerve that comes through here and feeds basically these first 3 fingers. I'm going to flip this wrist so it's palm down. And you can see if you spend a lot of time in an extension, once again, here's our tunnel, it can put a lot of traction in through this median nerve. And if there's any tightness through this retinaculum or through the muscles in through here, that can start giving you irritation, inflammation, and then pain in the subsequent 3 fingers. There are 3 things that I tell my clients to do if they have carpal tunnel symptoms. Number 1, we've got to mobilize the wrist, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Number 2, get a night splint, which you can pick up at any grocery store to keep your wrist in neutral while you're sleeping at night. And the third thing is a nerve glide stretch up against the wall, and I will put a link at the end of this video that talks about it. So it stretches the forearm, and we're also involving our neck to get a little bit of a nerve glide as well, almost like we're flossing the nerve. And those 3 things can be an effective, non-operative way of trying to take care of the carpal tunnel. At least give it a try before you have surgery. The 2 bones we want to mobilize in carpal tunnel are the hamate and the scaphoid. Both of them are very easy to find, and almost both of them are going to be restricted and not allow the wrist to go into extension. First, we find the hamate. This is the pinky. Remember, this is the left arm palm down. This is the thumb. This is the pinky. We follow this pinky till the very end, where we can feel a little bit of a ridge. We drop just to the inside of that and squeeze, and then I'll try to do a supported grip with my other thumb and put pressure on there, and that's the hamate. Even if you're not exactly sure where you're at, even if you're close, it's going to be fine. Find the edge, drop in, that's the hamate, supported grip. Now I'm going to put a little traction. I'm going to push down to create a little bit of space, and then I'm going to work that hand into extension. Oftentimes, remember, this is extension of the wrist. Then what I'm going to do is add a little bit of a contraction. Once I start to hit a little limitation, I'm going to have my client push down with the hand, and that contracts the flexors for 5 seconds, and then after it relaxes, I'm going to go a little bit more. It's an isometric contraction, so it's not really going to move. So I'll go there, there's a little tension. I'm going to say push your hand down to the floor. I'm going to resist it. They're going to relax, and I'm going to go a little bit further. Then once I've established extension, and then I'm going to work on a little bit of radial deviation and ulnar deviation, just trying to get that bone to move a little bit better. Next one we're after is the scaphoid. It's easy to find the scaphoid. The scaphoid makes up the bottom of the anatomical snuff box. So have them lift their thumb up, and you'll see a nice little square right there. Let them relax, and that's the scaphoid right at the bottom. Another way to find it is to take that thumb, palms down, march it all the way back through here. The first one you feel is the trapezium. We're not as interested in that. We're interested in the scaphoid, so come a little bit further on, and you're right at the scaphoid. You can bring your thumb either on top or right next to it. Same kind of rule now. I put a little traction through here and I work it into extension because that's most likely where it's restricted. When I feel a barrier, I'm going to have them push their hand down. I'm going to resist that for 5 seconds, let it relax, a little more traction, and I'm going to go into extension. Once I've established extension, I'm going to work on radial and ulnar deviation, side to side. I'm just trying to free up those two bones. So I've just talked about 3 different ways that we can attack this carpal tunnel syndrome. 1 with mobilization, 2 with the night splints, and 3 with the nerve glide and stretch with the video that I've already made. And the link is going to be at the end of this video. If you have any questions, please let me know down below. If you have not subscribed, please do so. I would love to hit 10,000 subs by the end of 2020. Thank you very much, and I hope this helps your carpal tunnel.